Hey guys, welcome to our Monday afternoon live broadcast. Today we are going to be talking about your supplementation needs when you are fasting. This topic came about because of some of the supplements that I share that I use in my everyday life, and some confusion that's brought up based on what I'm sharing and what I'm doing and what I'm not doing, and some changes that I'm making. So I wanted to just bring forward a little baseline or guidelines for you to determine where you think you might need to be supplementing when you're living an intermittent fasting and a keto like lifestyle. So welcome. If you're new, please take a second to hit that like button. If you're joining us on Facebook, make sure you're set up for notifications. And if you're joining us on YouTube, I always ask that you please hit that subscribe button and then hit that little bell notification so you'll also be notified when we upload new content or go live. So, what does supplementation mean? Supplementation basically just means that you're going to put a little extra in to your daily life where there might be some gaps with whole food nutrition. I personally have been a huge user and advocate of supplementation when supplementation fits into my lifestyle authentically. And there have been times, especially when I was just starting out on this intermittent fasting journey, and this is what I always recommend when you're going through our intermittent fasting for today's Aging Woman beginner course, where you put supplementation sort of on the sidelines so you can figure out or help your body regulate to what it does in a normal situation without supplementation. So just purely relying on whole food nutrition. And I did this, and I ask you to do this because we are often coming into this situation and wanting to experiment or learn how to fast correctly so that we can figure out what some of these intolerances or signs and signals that our body is sending us, what they are, and what is triggering them. And you really can't figure that out unless you strip down everything in your life that causes a sort of a stimulant type of reaction or something that's going to supplement the norm. And so you're just basically stripping down. It would probably be along the lines of even an elimination type of diet where you're just going to take a bunch of things out, let your body go back to a baseline normal, and then start experimenting with adding some things in and see how your body responds. So when you're jumping into this new, I always recommend that you take all supplementation away and just really rely on food so that you get the very clear and crisp signal from your body whether something is working well for you or something is not working for you. I did that for an entire year. That year of healing for me was also a time when I did not work out at all, and I really gave my body that time to rest and recover. And it takes a lot of energy for our bodies to get to that point where it is self-healing. There's a lot of internal work that's going on. There's a lot that's going on in our system that we may not necessarily know about because we are just taking a pause and letting our body be in control of what it knows best how to do, and that's heal. Once you get through that healing phase, I always recommend experimenting in your supplementation again and seeing what it is that you actually need and some things that you can get away with and just let your body know, like determine how it's going to run or function through its day. And then when you get to that point where you're adding back in workouts, or what I like to refer to more as training, then you want to think about or consider putting supplementation in to enhance what it is that you're doing in your training arena. So there's a bunch of different phases. And I know this community has been around for several years now, and it's gone through lots of phases as I have changed my journey with what I'm doing with fasting and feasting and fitness and how I am managing my healed state. And I don't want anyone who's coming into this community new to compare where you are today with where I am, or maybe some other women are in this community, based on their middle or their healed state. And it really should be something that we phase ourselves into and not necessarily try to mimic or duplicate what someone else is doing. And one thing that I'm very, very adamant about in this community, and what I really like to teach, is the fact that you, as a woman, should take the time to consider what your body's needs are, and not necessarily try to cookie cutter what someone else is doing, because every woman's body system has different needs and requirements, and every woman's body system is coming into this in a completely different stage of having to heal, or maybe already being healed. And so we want to make sure that we are always shooting for being our most authentic self. So with that being said, supplementation, when you're in the beginning stages of intermittent fasting and you're working through maneuvering what your fasting window is and what your feasting window is, and how you're managing your nutritional intake based on those signs and signals your body is sending you, you really want to pay particular attention to your electrolytes, and you want to pay particular attention to magnesium, calcium, potassium, and sodium. And you want to make sure that you're keeping your body very hydrated. And then I'm going to emphasize that I really do recommend that if you are taking any other supplements, that you just take a little bit of a break from that. We do ask you to do that when you're in our course, just to see what you need. So many of us are dumping so much money into vitamins and minerals that we might not need. And what we really should be doing is going to get our blood tested and see the areas that we are specifically deficient in, and then doing what we need to do via supplementation, or if you can find really solid nutrient dense whole foods, increasing some of those foods that might provide you with those nutrients that you need to get your efficiency level up in areas. So we don't know if we're iron deficient. We don't know if we're vitamin D deficient. We don't know if we're potassium deficient. We don't know any of those things until we get our blood tested. And then what you can do is start to listen to the signs and signals of how you feel when you do XYZ in your nutritional window. And so what I always suggest, or what I do with my own life, is I do not take a multivitamin every day. I wait until my body sends me a sign or signal that I need to up my quantities of something specific. And then as soon as I feel my body start to regulate, then I stop taking my multivitamins. I allow my body to tap into my own stored nutrients to really keep my energy levels up and to keep me where I need to be health-wise. With that being said, now that I'm at a healed state and I'm actually training, if you saw my Instagram and Facebook post yesterday, I ran a half marathon yesterday. Yesterday was not a very typical day for me fitness-wise, other than Sundays are the day where I try to work out 60 to 90 minutes. So it's a very intense workout day. When I work out on a day like that and I'm training really hard and asking a lot from my body, I supplement and I feast completely different than I do on the days where it's just a normal training day for me, or maybe even a rest day. So my days and how I supplement my body vary depending on what I'm asking from my body. So yesterday, when I got done with my half marathon, I supplemented my body with a recovery vegan protein shake. It is designed specifically to help your body's muscles recover and help fight fatigue, and really help keep your joints and everything in your body repaired and feeling like I didn't even work out. I woke up this morning feeling fantastic after I supplemented that way, not even feeling like I ran a half marathon yesterday. I won't do that supplementation every day because my body doesn't demand that type of nutrient replenishment if I'm just having a regular day. Tomorrow will be a rest day for me. I probably won't use any sort of supplementation at all other than my break fast shake. And then with that being said, going into my break fast shake, I gave up a lot of things as I was transitioning through this process, which I always recommend that you do too. We get very caught up in the emotional and or desperate type of feeling when it comes to supplementation because we don't really understand what our body signs and signals are sending us. And we often, and we, meaning myself included, reach for things hoping that it will be the magic cure all thing that we've been missing. And really, the best thing you can do when you're trying to find that thing that's going to make you look and feel your best and live your most authentic life and keep your money in your pocket is to learn how to fast and feast correctly for your body chemistry, and the demands that you put on your body. And you won't know what all of that is until you really strip it down and then build it back up. So the last 5 or 6 months, I have been experimenting as well. And I really wanted to go more on the keto side of things and tried to get rid of one of the supplements that I had been using, thinking that I could spare myself those extra carbs that were in it. And what I found was that I was snacking on empty carbs more frequently because my body was missing those dense nutrients that it was used to, and my digestive system went completely out of whack on me because I was now taking out also a pre and probiotic that I was using. So I've added some things back in. When I share supplementation that I use from the standpoint that I'm coming from, I am a certified exercise nutrition coach, I'm a certified running coach, and I am also in the process of becoming a holistic nutritionist. I share things to give you information and to ask you to think about what it is you're doing in your daily routine. And do you feel you're missing something? Or do you feel like what you're doing is absolutely working for you? And I change things all the time, which is why I'm very, very vocal about not sharing meal plans. I don't do what I eat in a day because today I'm going to eat completely different than I will eat tomorrow and how I ate yesterday. And I don't want any one woman trying to chase me or follow what it is I'm doing. And I will always, always, always give you guys my unsolicited opinion and advice if you have questions about how to supplement your life. So I don't want anyone to feel confused or conflicted, or you said you were doing this and now you're doing that. Yes, I switch things up all the time. The base thing that we need in our bodies when we are fasting and feasting are those minerals I talked about at the beginning: the magnesium, the potassium, the calcium, and the sodium. Because when we're fasting and we're taking large periods of our day and we're not putting any nutrients in, we want to make sure that we keep those electrolyte levels up. If you are exercising or you're putting your body in that state of what I call training, meaning you're going to go into whatever it is you're doing with all you've got and give it 110%, and you feel like you don't have what it takes when it's go time, that's when I recommend experimenting with some pre-workout formulas. Just making sure that when you're reading those ingredients, you're putting ingredients in your body that work with what it is you're trying to achieve as your end goal. So if your end goal is to keep your carbohydrates down and to keep as many questionable ingredients out of your system, then do your due diligence, read your ingredients label, and test it on your body. If it makes you feel good and if it makes you perform better, then you've hit a home run and you found what works for you and your body chemistry. If it doesn't make you feel good and it doesn't make you perform better, then that's not your thing. And I say keep trying until you find your thing. That's exactly what Michael and I are always in the pursuit of, is trying things, experimenting, taking things out that aren't working, and then keeping things in that are. I break my fast every day with just about the same concoction of a shake, and it's the same shake I've been using for 8 years. I've just been using it in different ways depending on what the lifestyle is that I'm living. It is by no means a be all end all, gonna fix everything for every single person out there type of thing. It just works for me, and it works for Michael, and it works for our family. And if you have any questions, I always say come to me and ask me. I will tell you exactly what I think of what it is I'm doing and whether it might fit in your lifestyle or not. But it's not something that you have to do to be successful with what it is you want to achieve with healing your body with fasting and feasting. And the same thing holds true with your fitness. If you're working out and you don't feel like your body needs extra replenishment when you're done working out, then there's absolutely no need to do that. If you feel like your body is breaking down, or you feel like you're suffering some things with the aging process, which is what I have been feeling lately with especially my running, that's where I've added in some specific things that have been designed to help with that as well. There are so many things on the market. The best advice I can give you about supplementing your body with this type of lifestyle is do your due diligence, do some research, read your ingredients label, and then experiment. And if it's working for you and it's enhancing your life and it's making you feel great and it makes you feel like your body's recovered and you can get back into a workout the next day, then that's exactly what you should be doing. And if it's doing any less than that, then don't waste your money. Put your money into some other areas of your life that you might actually benefit from what it is that you're looking for. And again, by no means, outside of the minerals that I discussed, is there anything that you have to absolutely do to be successful. There are so many people that can be really successful with what it is they're doing and feeling and seeing with their fitness, and they don't do any sort of pre-workout supplements at all. I envy those people. I just can't come with that sort of energy. But if that's you, I say do you. Don't add anything in. If you can get through a fasting window and you don't need any black coffee, don't start drinking black coffee. That's not something that's going to make you any more successful if it's not something that you have already going on in your life. And if you don't need to add any other sort of supplementation into what it is you're already doing with a whole food diet, then definitely don't feel like you have to have the pressure to do that. Oftentimes those things are added in just for ease, or to just for people who are on the go and they need something that will suffice their dense nutrition without having to result to going through a drive-through or getting something that maybe they would regret having later. So I just wanted to share that because I know a couple questions came up this weekend when I shared with you guys the recipe for the breakfast shake that I use, because you've been asking, so I always want to make sure I share. But I don't want anyone to ever think that you have to mimic what I'm doing yourself, but by no means do you ever have to do what it is that I am doing, because that's just what works for me, and it doesn't necessarily mean that it's gonna work for you the same way. So if you ever have any questions, always feel free to email me. I'm always an open book. I have no problem sharing with you guys at all. And please don't ever feel confused. Just know that I am constantly changing up my routine. And that just is what works for me, because I don't want to become too sedentary. And we tend to do the same types of foods over and over again. And so sometimes we get bored with that and we switch it up. And that's really why I strongly recommend that you guys really do find something that works for you. And stop relying on recipes, stop relying on someone to give you a meal plan, stop relying on someone else to tell you what to eat, because then when they change their plan, you have no idea what you're supposed to do to care for yourself. And we don't ever want to be in the position anymore as women where we can't think for ourselves or know what it takes to take care of ourselves. We really want to be able to be empowered to do that for ourselves, for sure. So I hope that clears up some confusion that was going on this weekend. I hope that helps you guys understand what it is that we and I really do have as a mission for this community. I try to be as transparent as I can. I try to be as helpful as I can, and I want you guys to feel empowered. But more importantly, I want you to continue to make those decisions that are going to help you look and feel your best while you live your most authentic life. And if I can help in any way with that, then that is what my purpose is for being here and sharing all of this information with you guys. So welcome to everyone who started our intermittent fasting for today's Aging Woman basic course this weekend. We have a really awesome group of women together. They're just starting their first group fast together this weekend. So congratulations on joining in the month of December when there are so many distractions and so many other things that could be derailing you. I am here to help you 100% get through your course and really help you get through this season without feeling stressed out or feeling any kind of regret about how you're going to start your January. We're in it to win it this month, and I'm here to help you any way I can. And also, I wanted to welcome everyone who has signed up for our goal setting course that will be starting next Monday. I'm so excited to share with you what I have been using for myself and what our family has been using over the past several years as a system for setting up our goals and really making sure that we are driving toward all the things that we say that we want in our life and really fulfilling the passions that we have and the way that we want to live our life as well. So congratulations to everyone who has joined our goal setting course. That registration is still open. So if you guys want to jump in on that with us, we don't start until Monday, and I would love to have you with us. So let me welcome everyone on Facebook first and see if there's any questions here. Cindy, good afternoon. Cassandra, hello. Tanya, good to have you here. Jacqueline, hi. I had my blood work done 3 months before starting the program. I'm supplementing for those things. Let's see if I can get that comment. It's not coming up. I guess you're supplementing for the things that you were deficient in, and that's exactly the way you should go. We should not experiment with even multivitamin type of things until we really know what our body needs. If our body is producing the right amount of vitamin and mineral type of components in our system because of the way that we are putting nutrition into our body when we're feasting, then your body is running exactly the way it's supposed to run. And we don't want to over supplement in those areas. So make sure you're not, just throwing your money away and grabbing a bunch of supplements at the pharmacy or the grocery store or whatever is I guess what is it called, the nutrition shop. Make sure you know what it is you're putting in your body, and even more importantly, understand why you're putting those things in your body and making sure you're doing it for the right reasons for you, and not necessarily just kind of following the pack. Let's see, Amy, welcome, girlfriend. Always good to have you here. I was just talking to your mom today and you came up in our conversation. It was nice to be able to talk to your mom. Dawn, you're so encouraging. Thanks so much for your good, honest info. Oh yeah, you're welcome, Dawn, for sure. I don't want to lead anyone down a path they don't want to go down. And desperation, I call it supplementation desperation, is something that I'm really trying to cease. Especially with us women. I know I have had times in my life where I had cupboards full of quick fix remedies and potions and powders and pills. And I'm sure that those led me to that point that I was at 3 years ago where I was really feeling broken down and sick and my body wasn't able to function the way it's supposed to on its own anymore. And so we want to make sure that as much as we can, we want to let our body do what it knows how to do, and that's get us through the day. And we want to make sure that we're just paying it back in kind by putting really good nutrient-dense food in our system, and then also making sure that we're exercising correctly, not desperately exercising as well. And then you want to make sure that you're also getting your adequate amount of sleep. When we're sleeping is really when our body gets that opportunity to kind of revamp our system and supply us with everything we need to get through the day. So we want to make sure that we're doing all that in a very calm and well-educated way. Mary from Milwaukee, December IF group. Congratulations, girlfriend. Elvis Sherry, is here. And Cherie, it seems that my doctor only tests on my blood for the basics. What do I need to ask for? Okay, so what you really want to ask for is a complete blood count for sure. And then ask if they will run tests for mineral deficiencies and things like vitamin B, vitamin D. I'm trying to think of some other ones that we're supposed to ask for.
We just ask for full blood.
Yeah, we ask for full blood panels, and
that's so much in that full blood panel. Sometimes you'll leave stuff out.
Yeah, so Michael just had his done, and they left out vitamin D because now insurance companies aren't paying for that. So you want to make sure that I would go into your doctor first and see what's covered by your insurance if you don't want to pay out of pocket for it. So you want to have a full blood count for sure. If you can get your usually within that they do things like cholesterol testing. They'll probably do a blood glucose test. If your blood glucose is fine, they won't run an A1C usually. And then you want to, if they will, run a hormone panel as well, just to make sure all of that is, where it's supposed to be. And then if you can, get a thyroid test as well and just kind of see where your thyroid is. And I think those are all pretty standard these days when you go in for an annual physical. Again, it's all just dependent on your insurance company. The good news is I was just researching a company that actually does blood testing now outside of insurance companies, and so you can actually pay out of pocket. You have to have a doctor referral to get blood panels done. And so what this company is doing is they're acting as the doctor referral. So it's a group of doctors who've gotten together, and you can actually order series of blood tests through them, and they have them kind of packaged in different packages depending on how much you want to pay. And so you can kind of piecemeal some blood work too. So if your doctor doesn't want to do, let's say, a hormone panel on you, but because your insurance won't cover it, but other blood tests will be done, then you can always go like third party and get those things done as well. And so we always say those are good things to have on file. We had Logan get a full blood workup done when he turned 18, just so he kind of knows where his baseline numbers are for some things. And if everything seems normal, then you could probably just get that done every couple of years. So I would say check with your doctor, or check with your insurance company first, see what's allowed. And then outside of that, you might need to go get some stuff done where you just maybe do it third party and then kind of pay for yourself. And if you guys want any information about that company I'm talking about, just email me, and I'll share what I know about them with you guys for sure. Okay, so let me see who we have here on YouTube, and I'll welcome everyone and answer any questions. I'm doing this from a phone, so hopefully I will be able to see your guys's comments on here. Okay, so let's see. Deb, hello from Ohio. Kim, hello, good to have you with us. Karen from Australia, good to have you, girlfriend. Kathleen from Michigan. Danny from October class. This is the subject I needed to hear today. I have been confused as to what to eat, or thinking I have been doing it wrong. No, really, everything we should be doing with our nutrition, our supplementation, our fasting even, should all be based on our intuition and what our body is telling us. Our body is so intelligent, and it will tell you when something's not right. So I have been having this problem with my eyes lately, where I've had this like eczema on my eyelids. I had no idea what it was. I thought I had an eye infection, so I went to the doctor because I don't, eye infections, you don't want to mess with that. I don't want to go blind. And so I went to the doctor. They gave me some drops for my eyes. And then the eczema kept coming. And then the other night I woke up, or the other morning I woke up, and my eyes were just super swollen, all kinds of eczema on my eyelids. They were draining all night. It was not a pretty sight. And I thought to myself, what did I do in the last day for my eyes to just flare up like this? And I was sitting at the kitchen counter, and I was doing work, and I was randomly eating walnuts. And so I think I have some sort of reaction to walnuts. So I'm just cutting walnuts out for the next couple of days or couple of weeks, and kind of see if this goes away and works through my system. And then I'll probably test walnuts out again and see if it comes back. So even though you may not have had a reaction to something in the past, doesn't necessarily mean that it's not going to cause you some problems today. And those problems might just be disguised as something that you're not going to make the connection to. So I never would have put the connection of walnuts and my eyes together until I retraced my steps and went, oh, I probably had way too many walnuts, and that caused my body to kind of have this little eczema reaction. So I'll keep you guys posted on that. But even with gluten, when I was trying to figure out why it was my body was retaining so much water, and literally within a day I could gain about 7 pounds of water, and I would wake up in the morning, put my feet on the ground, and I would just feel my body blow up like a water balloon. And I had to go back and retrace my steps and go, what did I do the last couple of days that could have caused this? And that's how I pinpointed that I had a gluten intolerance. Never in my 20s, 30s, or 40s did I have any problems with gluten. It was just as my body chemistry started changing when I started going through menopause. So it does really benefit us in the long run if we just slow down a little bit and listen to those signs and signals our body is sending us. If something doesn't seem right, I always consider that a warning. And if I don't pay attention to that warning, my body's going to keep screaming at me until I pay attention. And oftentimes, if we don't slow down enough and start to pay attention, what happens is we start to suffer some of these autoimmune disorders that are going on. For me, it was insulin resistance that led to pre-diabetes. Even, I was talking, Amy, I was talking to your mom today, even about my colonoscopy results. Like, I would have never imagined that I would have polyps the size, of cancerous type polyps, 12 millimeters, because I was doing what I thought were all the right things. But then I think back when I was in my 20s and my 30s and my 40s, I wasn't really listening to the signs and signals that my body was sending me. And that could have been the result of what I ended up having with my colonoscopy. Now, thank God I don't have colon cancer or anything, but we really need to start paying attention to what we're putting in our body and knowing that every single time you put something into your body, there's a chemical reaction that happens. And that chemical reaction can be good, or that chemical reaction can be bad. And if it is a bad chemical reaction that happens over and over and over again, eventually that's going to back up on you and it's going to cause us some problems. So pay attention. If it's not feeling right, it's not feeling right for a reason. And we need to really stop just kind of trying to hush that and really try to find what the underlying problem is for sure.
You're right, Mary.
Mary, I'm in the December IF group. Yay, Mary, I'm super happy to have you guys. Catherine from Ohio, I take supplements before and after a marathon to help with recovery. Yeah, for sure. You have to. I mean, you can't expect your body to perform like that and not supplement it and help it recover, for sure. So I am actually heading into a 21-hour fast right now, post half marathon run yesterday on my treadmill. I ate very lightly yesterday as well, and I really did want to be able to put myself through a nice, long, clean fast to help with any kind of inflammation that I had created by pounding my body for, a couple hours on a treadmill yesterday. And I feel fantastic, which in the past, when I would have been glycogen, overloaded and really supplementing my body through a run with a bunch of those simple carbohydrates and carbo loading to get through a run, I would have been suffering for a couple of days. And so it really is smart when you think about it, when you're doing things like half marathons and marathon training. And I know we have a lot of women in here who are just amazing athletes. Think about supplementing your body with really intelligent things and staying away from those sugars and staying away from those carbs. They really aren't necessary. I ran 13 miles yesterday without any sort of pre-thought to my nutrition because I woke up yesterday feeling great and thought, heck, it was supposed to be my half marathon day. I'm going to run. So I didn't do anything specific the day before to prep me. And I ran 18 hours fasted before I ran my half marathon yesterday. So your body can do it if you train it to do it. And you trust that your body knows what to do when it is in that glycogen depleted state because you've trained it to get there. And it really is a nice, healthy way to get yourself through some really intense exercise because your body's going to do it through a healed state and not through a damaged state. And then you come out of that much better. And like I said, I'm fasting 21 hours today to just get rid of any inflammation and help my body recover from the breakdown that I gave it yesterday. And I will be right back into the swing of things when I get back into my workout routine this week. Wendy, this has been so helpful. Oh, good. I'm so glad to hear that. Catherine, did your hair start thinning when you started IF? Yes, it did. My hair started actually falling out in clumps when I started intermittent fasting. And I got to tell you, it's totally normal. It's just a hormonal change that your body's going through. And it's a good change. So I don't want you to panic about it. The best thing you can do is add some biotin supplementation into your daily routine. So that would be a great time to add some supplementation in. And then I also started using it was like a, medicated shampoo and conditioner. If you go to dysfavoritethings.com, so dysfavoritethings.com, you'll see that it's on there. I got it on Amazon, which was the cheapest place I could find it. It's called Pura, and it's a shampoo and conditioner, and that turned it around for me within about a week, including adding in the biotin in there. And now I, just for security purposes, I rotate between a biotin shampoo and conditioner, which I find at Walmart. So not super expensive, and just a regular shampoo and conditioner just to kind of keep the biotin in my hair as well. So it comes back really quickly as well, because when you're healthy, your hair grows very quickly because you're healthy. So just get through that phase, add in your biotin supplementation, and find some of that medicated shampoo and conditioner. Like I said, if you go to dysfavoritethings.com, you can find it there for sure. Or email me and I'll get you some direct links. Catherine, we already did that one. Karen, good talk. Oh, you're welcome. Kathleen, I became gluten intolerant at menopause as well. Seems common among my friends. Yeah, I think it is. I think it's just because our chemistry is changing for some reason. Um, Soy is another one of those things that I just completely became intolerant of as I started going through menopause. And I think that's really where women start to break down and start to suffer from a lot of these autoimmune disorders. We keep putting these foods in us, not thinking that gluten is a bad thing. Gluten is a bad thing. There are very few health professionals out there or nutrition professionals out there who will tell you that gluten is something you should have in your diet. It is just not good for us. And it's just not good for us because of the way it's manufactured and produced and grown today. So gluten has changed as much as we have changed. The same thing with soy. Soy is just one of those things that is just not good for us because of the way it's processed and manufactured. So it will cause you to have some major hormonal imbalances and will wreak havoc on you as you're going through some hormonal transitions. So the best thing you can do is get that out of your body and out of your system. And I teach all of that in the intermittent fasting for today's Aging Woman course as well. So
There's one you missed from Wendy. She said it's Slinda. I think she meant Splenda okay in coffee. Did you see that?
a Splenda okay and coffee. Splenda is one of those things I would avoid. I think Splenda is like equal. It's like chemical type of sweetener, so I would avoid that at all costs. If you're fasting clean, which I highly recommend you do if you are trying to achieve some good healing benefits from your fasting window, then black coffee or black tea is really what you want. You don't want to put any kind of sweetener at all in your coffee. And some people even find that black coffee is too much. It causes them to have an insulin response and it knocks them out of that energized sense of calm. So if you're in my course and you're in the beginner course, what I highly recommend is aiming for the energized sense of calm. It's the place I'm presently in right now through a 21-hour fast after coming off a nice run yesterday. It's that sense of not needing nutrition that's coming into your body as new nutrition or new calories, because your body is so efficient at burning off stored calories as a sense of energy. Your mind becomes very clear, your body becomes very energized, and you just have this nice calming sensation about how your day and your life is going. And you really don't get that same benefit when you put things in your coffee. So I highly recommend ditching all of that if you really want to take full advantage of what you're getting from your fasting window. And if you're going to fast and you're going to fast long, you might as well reap all the benefits that you can from that for sure. So let me switch back over to Facebook really quickly and see if there are any other comments that I missed that I can answer. And then I will let you guys go for the rest of the afternoon. Cherie, you are welcome for sure. I think I got them all. Okay, awesome. So I hope that clears up any questions about what you should be doing with supplementation when you are living an intermittent fasting and a keto-like lifestyle. So when you're fasting, you should be fasting. Supplements are that thing you really want to make sure that you save for your feasting window. Unless you're on some sort of prescription type of medication, you always want to adhere to what your doctor is telling you to do. But when you're really trying to get to that healed state, I do say that you should really allow your body the opportunity to operate on its own and allow it the opportunity to tap into a lot of those stored nutrients that you've been packing away for years, as we have been eating every 2 hours, as we have been told to do all of these years. And let your body eat away at that for a while. There's a lot of good nutrients in there that you will find you won't need to actually supplement when you're in those beginning stages and your body is really tapping into some of those things. When in doubt, get a blood test. Make sure that you know where you're deficient. And if you're not deficient, that means you don't need to waste your money on any sort of vitamin type of supplementation at all. And then when you are adding in some exercise and you want to maybe have the convenience of something else, or you need some sort of pre-workout that's gonna align with what you want to do with your intermittent fasting and your keto-like lifestyle, I always recommend that you do your research, read your ingredients label, make sure you're not putting something in your body that's gonna take away from what you're trying to do with your fitness and your fasting and your feasting. And then be open to changing some things up if either they stop working for you or they are not bringing you to a level that you would hope they would through whatever it is you want from your energy or whatever it is that you want from your results. And then always, always, always make sure that the decisions that you are making are going to lead you to looking and feeling your best and living your most authentic life. And then think what works for you. Don't go into anything mimicking someone else or going in out of the pure sensation that you feel desperate. Trust me, you should never feel desperate when it comes to nourishing your body and the decisions that you want to make sure that you are reaching the best potential that you have for you. Thank you so much for joining me today. We have our registration open for our intermittent fasting for today's Aging Woman course. We're going to leave it open through the rest of this week because we know it's December and we want you guys to be in a community that you're going to feel supported. And we don't want you to have to wait till January if you're ready to join us now. And we also have our goal setting course open as well. That will be open through next week because we start on the 10th. I would love to have you join us for our goal setting course. It is going to be an amazing opportunity for us to sit down and really identify the passions that we have for ourselves in our life and how to really set ourselves up for success. Thanks for joining me. I'll see you guys on Wednesday.